Now
on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:07. It's O'Connor and Company on this Independence Day holiday. We're live with you all through your morning as you prepare for the great festivities ahead. When I say we, it's me and she right there, Mercedes Schlapp. Happy Independence Day to you and the whole Schlapp clan.
Happy Independence Day. I got to start cooking. Let's go.
Right? I'm starting to get stressed about it as well. That's all right. We got our job to do. That's the thing that's stressing me out is that I know that a vast majority of the people listening to us right now, they're getting their charcoal ready. They're doing their dry rub on their pork or their beef.
That's
and
right.
they're doing all the preparations we got to do. And we'll get there. Joining us right now, KT McFarland, former Deputy National Security Advisor to President Trump, author of Revolution. Happy Independence Day, KT.
Well, I can't think of a better way to celebrate my 8 o'clock hour than with two patriots like you. So happy Independence Day to you, too.
Right back at you, madam. There's so much to get to, but I do want to start with this. What we saw Thursday night, that's the leader of the free world. That's the commander-in-chief of our armed forces. That's the man who faces off against our adversaries and enemies around the world. I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh my God, what are our allies thinking when they see Biden?" I would like to know, KT, what are our enemies thinking when they see a debilitated man who is not capable of being president, propped up like he was Thursday night?
Oh, I think they're calculating that this is their time. You know, they've got 6-7 months to do something, and I think that it's likely that something will happen. And my guess is it'll happen with several of the bad guys in conjunction with each other for the following reasons. I mean, one, disarray. Who's the Democrat nominee? Who knows? President Trump, it looks like he's going to win if it's today. And the other thing is that there's just complete disarray in Europe. If the bad guys decide they're going to do something, this is their moment, because not only has the Biden administration throughout its time in office and the Obama administration before that, they've not been decisive. They tend to kind of, split the difference. They're not decisive leaders in the sense that if a crisis presents itself, they take strong and decisive action. They usually, sort of take incremental steps. So if you're China, if you're Russia, if you're Iran, if you're North Korea, you're looking at this and thinking, okay, even if Biden were a strong president, this is our moment of opportunity. But now that he's a very weak president, they don't even know if he's going to be the nominee, this is our time, because we could get away with an awful lot between now and January. And I think they're also calculating that if Donald Trump wins, then things get tough, because Trump will dominate the energy industry, drive the price of energy down. He'll bankrupt Russia. He'll bankrupt Iran. He'll use tariffs and trade to get tough with China. And so I think they're all looking at this and thinking, yikes, if we're going to make a move, it's now or never.
Well, Biden, it was reported he blamed international travel for poor debate performance, saying he nearly fell asleep on stage. So first it's the cold. Now it's blaming international travel. They even blamed their own staffers. We see Hunter Biden now part of some of these debate prep sessions. What will the Democrat Party do?
Well, nobody believes these excuses, and nobody really cares, because the reality is that this is a guy who's not in charge. And it's reinforced what I think everyone has thought all along, which is that the staff is in charge. And who's the staff? The staff is the former Obama administration officials who are now Biden administration officials. So what does everybody do? I think that, as I said, I think that the bad guys get together and they say, this is our move. Now, here's what they might do. So Iran might conclude, okay, no time like now. Trump comes in. He's going to be very strong with Israel. He's going to bankrupt us because he'll drive the price of oil down. He's going to reinforce the sanctions. There's going to be no nuke deal, and it's not going to be a happy time with Iran's relationship with the Donald Trump presidency. And so they figure, well, now's our time, because Biden needs the Muslim anti-Israel vote in the United States if he's going to win a couple of key states, if he's going to win. So there's a wedge already between the Biden administration and Israel. Iran is rich right now. Prospects it's not going to be rich 9 months from now. And I think they start unleashing Hezbollah and other anti-Israel factors in the Middle East. So what is Russia going to do? Russia probably concludes, well, we kind of win either way. If Trump comes in, we'll have a negotiated solution. And even though it won't be one that Russia wants, Trump won't push Putin's face in the mud. I mean, if you read The Art of the Deal, President Trump doesn't necessarily, he likes to win a negotiation, but he doesn't necessarily have to humiliate the guy he's negotiating with. And if Biden remains, or if the Democrats remain, Russia figures, well, we're going to win this, so we're just going to win it more slowly and more painfully.
KT, speaking of Russia, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky has told Bloomberg News in an interview that he's ready to meet with Donald Trump, but he would like to know now. Trump keeps saying, when I'm president, I'll end this war. Zelensky is like, yeah, how exactly are you going to do that? What does that? Like you just said, he's not going to rub Putin's face in it, but at some point there does need to be some level of peace negotiation, which could involve some kind of concessions here. Do you have any understanding of what that might look like?
Well, okay, Larry, I think you and Mercedes were both at CPAC when President Trump gave his brilliant speech. And what he said was, I'm going to end this right away. He said, on day one, I'm going to drill, baby, drill. I'm going to close the border. But then I'm going to call Putin, and I'm going to say to Putin, if you don't go to the negotiating table, I'm going to give Zelensky everything he wants, offensive weapons. He's coming after you. And then he said, and then I'm going to call Zelensky, and I'm going to say, if you don't go to the negotiating table, we're done. We're not going to get a thing. And so, as President Trump says, I'm not going to talk about the terms of the negotiated solution.
Sure.
But he's talking about getting them together and ending the killing. And
But that is the clear distinction, right? Because the Biden administration, through Anthony Blinken and their position is, we won't even talk to Putin. We won't accept anything less than regime change in Moscow, and that's completely unrealistic.
It's winking, blinking, and nod. Do you remember that childhood story? We know who winking is, we know who blinking is, and we now know who nod.
Yeah.
It's unrealistic. What they should have done was to encourage Zelensky to settle in 2022 when they had a pretty good setup. Now it's only gotten worse, and the Europeans are getting tired of it. Not the frontline states of Poland and the Baltics, but the other countries in Europe are kind of tired of this war, as Putin figured they would over time. And so a negotiated solution is the only way to go.
Yeah, KT, I know we're running out of time here. I do want to ask you about this NBC News report. Biden, basically, the administration's weighing in on working with the Taliban to combat ISIS-K. I mean, this is unreal. I want to get your thoughts on this.
We're worried about the terrorists, so let's bring the Taliban in to help us.
Yeah, exactly.
All I can say is that there was a thing going around in Twitterverse this week where a congressman said that he had heard from President Trump that President Trump said to the Taliban leader, we're leaving, we want to leave, but if you harm the hair of one American, you're dead. And then showed him the Google Earth, I guess, map of where the Taliban leader lived, at which point that was the kind of solution President Trump wanted. Now, to be negotiating with the Taliban, please, Biden has just given them one of the most powerful militaries in the world, and now he's going to, and he's still paying the Taliban for who knows what, and now he's going to get their help. Please, this is really winking, blinking, and nod land.
Well, and this comes on the heels of that atrocious lie. I mean, there's a lot of lies from this president, but when he stood in front of the world last Thursday and said that he had not lost one member of the military, one troop on his watch, when we know that there are 13 dead Americans because of his hapless pullout. I was enraged when I heard that, KT. But
I was enraged for a second, and then I thought, gosh, he probably really believes that.
Oh, now so you went from enraged to terrified at the same time. KT,
enraged to terrified. This guy doesn't know what he's saying. As President Trump said, I don't know what he said. I don't think he knows what he just said either.
November can't come soon enough, and KT, I'm so glad to have you with us every week to discuss how the world is burning around us, and it's just another reason why we got to keep focused on this election. KT, thank you so much. Always great to talk with you.
Thank you. Happy Independence Day.
And to you and to your amazing family. It is 8:15 WMAL traffic and weather every time.